I am at home for reading week, and I left my equipment back at my apartment, so this video is going to look a little scuffed, both visually and sound-wise, because I'm recording on my phone. Toronto FC have traded Luca Petrasso to Orlando City Soccer Club for $300,000 in general allocation money in 2023 and $50,000 in each of 2024 and 2025 based on performance bonuses, with TFC keeping a sell-on fee clause in that move. This is the first official move of Toronto FC's offseason for 2022 leading into 2023, and it honestly is a surprising one. Luca Petrasso from the Play the Kids movement was the surprise on-the-scene kid at the beginning of last season, and he was probably one of the better kids over the course of last season. Before the arrival of Crescito, he was a mainstay for TFC on the left side, playing a bit of left wing to start the season, moving back to left back as the season moved on, and then at the end of the season when he had his last hurrah, I guess, with TFC in the second last game of the season, he was also playing as a left back. And this was a guy who, you know, left wing, he fell in the same position as Schaffelberg, where once Insigne came, that was kind of over. And Petrasso honestly was a solid potential future left back in the making for Toronto FC, which, given the rumors of Crescito potentially retiring, makes this move even stranger. Petrasso was a guy who could have been a solid left back for TFC, maybe the number 2 left back for the next couple seasons, and then move into the starting left back role. And honestly, as far as the kids went, he was one of the better ones, one of the more exciting ones. He was great plays down the left side, moving the ball up, getting some crosses and getting some assists early on in the season when Jimenez was scoring. Petrasso was great. He was a shining, bright spot at the beginning of last season before the Italians showed up. Now, obviously, he was so great that he was thrown onto the radar of all of MLS because Orlando City paying $300,000 general allocation money for him, that is quite a solid amount of money for Luca Petrasso. He obviously is on the radar, and you know that's the type of move that starts putting you in like the Canadian national team radar sort of positioning, especially if he starts playing consistently on a non-Canadian MLS team where he'll be taking up an international roster spot. Well, now all of a sudden you're looking at like Raheem Edwards territory where you're starting to look at the fringe of the national team. So obviously some other moves are going to happen here because $300,000, you're obviously getting that money to do something. And then on top of it, of course, the Crescito rumors being that another left back might be in the works. There's definitely at least another center back in the works. Both our goalies, we need new goalies. Right back is fine until Larea leaves. And then who knows, if Larea does leave, he might stay at the end of that loan, depending on really what happens to 9 and 4. So if they get relegated, it's likely Larea goes back to England to help them out in the championship. So the whole back end is still up in the air for TFC, but really, this Petrasso move is probably the only thing I didn't see coming in terms of the back end being adjusted this offseason. So be interesting to see what we do with that $300,000. Another W for the academy, I guess, getting this guy come in, playing him for a season, and then selling him for a hefty amount of GMA in Major League Soccer. Nice little piece of business there. However, it would have been nice to see Petrasso stick around and fully develop as a Toronto FC player. If anything, this at least pretty much guarantees that even if Crescito doesn't get moved, we're getting another left fullback for, you know, backup purposes next season. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out, but now we have another $300,000 in general allocation money to play around with. So, you know, like we said last offseason, that money was starting to come in and money was starting to stack up. Money starting to come in, money starting to stack up. Let's see what we do with it. Should be an exciting offseason for TFC. So that does it for this video. As always, if you'd like to hit like, if you want to see more of my stuff, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Link is down below in the description, and I will see you next time.